Hello everybody, how is everyone doing? My name is Kikrlan and welcome finally to F1 2022. It is here along with a new season of Fprl. Today our Division 1 drivers are going to be tackling Bahrain. This track is 5.4 kilometers or 3.3 miles long and is made out of 15 corners, 9 to the right and 6 to the left. The new era of regulations is here, so our drivers need to scrap everything they've learned from F1 2021 because these cars are brand new, reliant on ground effect with bigger tires making pit stops a bit slower. Also, the cars should be around a second and a half slower, according to some of the things that we've seen from real-life races, so it's not that big of a difference between last year's and this year's cars. As always, we're going to have a full qualifying session to set the grid for the race, but unlike the previous year, our drivers are gonna be given softs in qualifying, and only softs, because you can now choose whatever tire you want at the start of the race, which will provoke a lot of different strategies that are surely going to be interesting to see if they pay off in the end. The tires are also pretty hard to heat up because they are bigger, so be careful on your outlap in both qualifying and the race to not spin and lose a bunch of time. Also during the safety car period, they are also gonna be pretty hard to heat up. The cars are also really easy to spin this year, so be very gentle on the throttle coming out of the corners and during the start, as you don't want to do a 180 and lose too much time, but maybe on the formation lap that might be a good strategy to heat up your tires easier. I don't know. Commentating alongside me today is Ollie. We haven't commentated in a while, so let me just start by asking how are you doing and are you excited about the start of a new era and a new season of Fprl?
Hello mate, yeah it's good to be back once again alongside you for the start of Season 5 of Division 1. It's a real pleasure to be commentating on this race because I believe there's lots of people going for the race win today, as the grid in Fprl is slowly stacking up and becoming very competitive. Drivers that we did see in Division 1 last year have not made the cutoff to be good enough for Division 1 this year, and they will go down to Div 2, Div 3 racing on Saturday or Sunday, which means that we will have we had a lot of new guys coming in towards the end of last season that are really committed and looking to go for the championship and challenge it this season, as he hasn't had the biggest of challenges in the last 2 seasons that provoked him from getting the championship. As he's been doing, the last 2 seasons he's wrapped up the championship with at least 1 or 2 rounds to go. So hopefully this season we can see a more competitive championship fight, and yeah, I think we're going to get a pretty full grid today, mate. Yeah, it's looking really good, and we'll be underway as soon as possible.
Yep, it is sure gonna be interesting, and speaking of drivers, let's actually introduce our people, our crowd here, our viewers, to people who are going to be in what team. So first of all, we have the Mercedes. Itmar and Hako are gonna be in the 2 Mercedes cars. Next we have the Red Bull, Kos and Alpha are gonna be securing those seats. We also have 4 reserves today. I don't know who they are. Maybe Oli here can actually tell us, because I don't know. After we say every single driver. Next we have Ferrari with Little Jack and Yele. McLaren is gonna be Eagle and Verbram. Alpine is gonna be Valtuka and someone else. We actually don't have anyone in that seat yet, so we're probably waiting for that one. AlphaTauri is gonna be secured by Wesley and Ollie Horwood. Aston Martin, LSD Roy and PW Jones. Williams, Thyman Zalv and Polar Saver. Alfa Romeo, Frantic, Lewis Piper. And Haas is gonna be Chiaerbo. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Chiaerbo and someone else who I don't know. So who of these are reserves? Okay,
so obviously Lucario is not racing today, it looks as if, because his Division 2 driver, Hako, is racing instead of him. We also haven't seen Kos yet in the Red Bull. He should be here. That's a full team in the Ferrari with Lil Jack and Jelle Van Eyck. Jelle and Bram, 2 McLaren drivers for this season. Team principal Ollie Howard, they're both full-time drivers. Demon's not here yet for the Alpine team principal, obviously, this season. And in AlphaTauri, it's as my wheel's broken, I cannot race alongside my teammate Wesley Caspers, so Ollie Howard is going to be taking my place today, and hopefully I can be back as soon as possible. And it's a full Aston Martin team also of Ali and PWJ, same team that we saw last season. And in the Williams team, we've got Polar and Timon. We have not got today Case Young, who's normally here. As we see, Carlos has just joined the session. And in Alfa Romeo, Jeppe van Dam is not here. He's in France, I believe, so he's not racing. As one of his Div 3 drivers, or Div 2, I can't remember, is driving France alongside Lewis Piper. And then obviously Haas, Cabrera, and we're waiting for Tyler Freeman to join, who challenged Jeppe quite a lot last season towards the end. So let's hope those two can battle once again this season, but not today, as Jeppe, like I said, is not here today. So mate, who's your money on today? Who do you think is going to be able to wrap up the race win if it all goes to plan?
I mean, I don't know, it's a pretty difficult question. Of course, all depends on how every single person that we've mentioned has managed to actually figure out the new regulations and the new cars, how they feel, how they control, how the new ground effect is actually tackling. Also, the new setups are gonna be very different to last year, so it is all probably going to go ahead in this first race. I think everyone has a chance to win. So after this race, then we can probably have a better chance to actually figure out who's gonna be a consistent winner and who's going to bring the maximum out of the car. But what do you think?
Yeah, throw the question back at me. I think we're gonna look at a Jelle van Eyck win. It's hard to say because it's his first race, but I think Jelle van Eyck could be up there. But I think Bram's gonna get it today.
You're not even voting on your own team. That's very interesting.
Well, I want Wesley to win as much as I want Wesley to win the most. But yeah, I think Wesley has the capability to win it, but Bram just plays this game for a living. So yeah.
As you've been saying that, we are going ahead for the qualifying session. Like I mentioned before, we do have a full qualifying session, but our drivers are only given softs, so they can just push as long as they want to. So in the race, they can choose either hards, mediums, or softs to start with. Also, strategies are gonna be a bit different to last year's as well, because the tires do wear out quite quickly than last year as well. So probably soft to medium strategy is gonna be very hard to do at most of the tracks. Maybe Austria is gonna be like the only track where you're gonna be able to do a soft to medium, but it probably isn't gonna pay off a lot. But what strategy do you think is gonna be the most common that we're gonna see today? Maybe a medium to hard?
I don't think that there'll be a strategy in play today, mate, because I feel like new game for a lot of these drivers, it'll be their first race on the new game. So that's just going to cause carnage amongst the field, I believe, and I think we're going to have multiple safety cars here, like you generally do see at Bahrain. I remember last season we had 2 or 3. So I think that it's just going to be like who can get on the best tyre for the last and overtake people. Only 18 drivers. I thought that we'd have a full grid, but obviously not.
I think it's okay. If we're racing to it, it's not gonna ruin any of the action that we're probably gonna see. I also do hope that the stream quality is gonna be good. The game for me is a little bit lagging, but I hope that's not really present in the stream, as we already do see some people going out on track with the Williams of Polar. I think that is going to be first guy to be out on track. Yes, it is. So let's see how they're gonna cope with the new regulations. So, we're gonna go on board with Polar, so he's gonna be the first guy to set a lap. Also, Ollie is gonna bring us a little bit of a track guide.
1 second. My game's in that glitch where it shows the back camera, not the front camera. So that's good.
I didn't even know that that's what can happen.
That's what happened in the last game. Let me just
So sorry, you had see that I have to disable my vibrations because my wheel is a little bit loud. I don't want that to come out of the stream. If you're not gonna be able to provide us with a
I can do it off
guide-
board. I can try my best. Who can we? Who's a good guy we can go on board with?
Polar Saber is gonna be the first guy to settle up, so we can
Yeah.
go on board with him.
And then he needs to make sure that he can get a good exit going onto the main straight, as lots of time can be gained here. A good exit could be the difference of 3 or 4 hundredths. So here we go then. The first qualifying lap of the new season, and it is going to be the Williams of Polar. Coming down to turn 1, he's going to hit about 320 kph. Braking, avoiding the curb on the left, as that will throw you out. Down into second gear to get the rotation. Short shifting up, he should be able. He's going to bog down, but it's looking good so far. As he rounds 3-4, and he's going into 4. Sorry. He needs to use the track on the left hand side. Doesn't really utilize it. Down into third gear. Avoid the curb on the inside, as that will give you a big jump, and that's not good for your revs as we go into the midsection. And this is where the downforce it plays a big factor as he approaches turn 8. Looking pretty tidy so far. This is a very hard corner, turn 9, turn 10. It's important to get it out wide as possible at the end of turn 9 and going into turn 10, so you get a perfect exit onto this DRS straight. Then most of the hard work's done now, going into T11. Down into 4th gear, he goes and uses 3rd. Very risky using 3rd gear there, but he makes it work. Avoid the curb on the inside like we've seen in previous games, that will just chuck you out. But it's looking pretty decent. Use a little bit of curb on the inside. Be careful not to go too wide, as that will invalidate your lap time. Looking okay just for the minute. Let's see what time it's going to be. We're looking at, you want to be really getting into the 28s, mid 28s to low 28s if you want to get out of Q1. Let's see what time it's going to be for him. Oh, it's at 30.8. We got Yella also running. It's a mod does a 29.6. Let's see what Yella can do. Yella has showed some good pace in the last season. Has it been a good lap for him? It looks pretty decent so far. It's going to be a provisional pole at this minute in 29.3 for Yella. Next guy to cross the line is going to be Bram. Bram's going to put in a 43. Must have had a spin in there. Yella Van Eyck does a 28.9. Good lap from him. Kost tops the time chart with a 28.4. Those times are coming down very quickly, mate.
As Thyman has now crossed the finish line in the Williams, he sets a lap time of a 128.6, goes to P3. Wesley, also in the AlphaTauri, a 128.571, a provisional 2nd position. But Kos is currently on provisional pole in the Red Bull, which is a pretty good lap time of a 128.4. It's definitely not going to be the fastest that we're going to see today, but still that is a pretty good bankroll lap to try and improve on for the rest of the 3 qualifying sessions. As we do have quite a few people still on a out lap. We have Ollie Horwood, who is just now finishing in Sector 1. At the end, we also have Alice Dero, who is actually crossing the finish line right now, as he sets a lap time of a 128.9. The Aston Martin's already showing that they really have the pace to be in the mid-pack, as both of them are looking pretty consistent, only separated by 1/10. So they are gonna be hoping for regular point scoring positions during this season. Also, we should probably mention how this season is actually gonna go. So we're gonna have every single race in order. So from Bahrain to Abu Dhabi is gonna be the last race. So that's gonna be 22 races, I think. So yeah, we do have a long way to go until the end of the season. So we really do hope that you are gonna enjoy the whole season and the whole commentary. As probably I'm gonna be commentating the whole season, but I'm not sure. As LSD actually spins. So let's go on board with Ollie. I think is gonna finish his lap. Yes, as he goes out to the final corner, he is gonna set a lap time of a 129.9. Pretty slow from the AlphaTauri driver, but I don't think that's gonna be the fastest that he's gonna be able to do. He probably made a mistake somewhere. That puts him in P11. So you probably wanna be around P15 or above, because below P15, so P16, P17 and P18 are gonna be disqualified after the 11 minutes of the session. So we're gonna have 15 drivers in qualifying 2, and then the bottom 5 are again gonna be disqualified, so we're gonna have the top 10 drivers in qualifying 3. And what is also good from this qualifying session, or the whole qualifying actually, is that you don't really need to worry about what tire you want to choose. So you can just pull all the way, or push all the way as much as you want. So that's also gonna be really good. You also get, I think, a brand new set of softs in Q2, and then you get 2 set of softs in Q3. I think it goes like that, but I'm not really sure. As well, Tsuka, the only Alpine today, sets a lap time of a 129.3, so he's gonna be P8 at the moment, or provisional 8. And Oli, have you come back? Is everything okay?
It's still doing it, but it's manageable.
Looks
I
like
can't do onboards.
you're not the only one that has issues, because I've turned out vibrations on my wheel and it's still feeling the vibrations that the car that I'm on board with has, which is very weird. I don't know how that's done.
I'm just unplugging everything so that I can have a chance of getting it to work.
I should probably also unplug my wheel, so I'm gonna do that, as we're gonna be on board with Lewis Piper in the Alfa Romeo, so let's see what lap he is gonna do. Where's my wheel? I think this is it. Yeah. There we go.
This game is so bad.
It is. I mean, overall it's good. I really enjoyed the music, the theme, not the EA music. It's actually amazing. But the game is pretty buggy, and the force feedback is really bad on this year's game, at least for me.
My game's crashed.
Oh, that's not good. I hope that you get rid of those issues, but it's actually good that you're actually experiencing them now, and not during the race, so that's good.
Oh, mate. 22 degrees and I'm just sparkling a little bit.
In my country it's like 30, so...
Yeah, but you live in Croatia, mate.
Yeah. It's a bit souther than I think you're in the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's weirdly warm here.
For me it's super hot. It's incredible how hot it is. Anyway...
Who thought this race would be so interesting we start talking about the weather?
Yeah. I mean, that actually is gonna be interesting what the weather is gonna be during the race. We are in a desert, or Bahrain is actually in a desert, so it is probably gonna be dry for the whole race, but rain is not, it's not uncommon. I mean, we might see full rain, which might spice things up. But we're gonna have to wait and see, as Itmar actually finishes his lap in the Mercedes in 129.0. Puts himself into P8, and it's actually very interesting how close these people are. Like, from P4 to P9, everyone separated by 1/10. Like that's very, very close. It's very nice to see. The stream says F1 2021. I don't think I have power over that. I don't think I can change that, or at least I didn't see that I can change that. So that's probably something that we're gonna have to look after the stream for tomorrow, which tomorrow I'm probably gonna be commentating as well. Same time, Division 3, also at 8 or 7 PM UK time, so you can go watch that as well, if you are going to be free. Also, thank you everybody that is currently watching today's stream. We would like to say thank you to our sponsors, Skullcandy and GoPro, who made this stream possible, because this stream could not have been possible without them, so thank you so much. Their links should be down below the stream, so you can check them out if you want to. As we are gonna go on board with the only Haas of Kjaerbo, so let's see what lap time he's gonna be able to do as he finishes Sector 1 right now. Also looks like my game is has actually optimized itself, so that's actually very nice to see. So I hope that we're not gonna have any issues later on. Also, tell us in the chat if the volume is good, so I can change that afterwards. Because I really do hope that that it's good.
I recommend you maybe turn up the game a little bit.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
gonna
you.
do that.
I know you have issues with it, but
I'm gonna put it to 3. That's, I think, gonna be enough. You can't hear the cars properly because I don't know why, but I have a little bit of an issue when I'm streaming because you know how you can turn on your microphone audio and your game audio. Oh, Skyriba actually spins. So you can turn on your microphone audio and your game audio. So if I turn those both, you're gonna hear Oli actually echo. So you're gonna hear him twice. So I have to either sacrifice the microphone audio or the desktop audio. So it's better to actually sacrifice the desktop audio because you can actually hear the cars a little bit, like you actually mentioned. And if I disable the microphone, you're not gonna be able to hear me. So it's a bit of a dilemma. I don't really know why that's happening. It's probably because of my microphone. I probably need to get a new one, but I don't have money, unfortunately. But after I get a new microphone, I hope that that's gonna be fixed. So yeah, I hope that you understand, and thank you for asking that question. But I hope it's gonna be good right now. I really don't know.
yeah, lots. Yeah, my game's working now.
Ah, that is nice to hear. So we already have 4 minutes remaining in the qualifying session, and the people in the danger zone are Frantic and Ollie. So they are, I mean, Frantic, Ollie, Polar Saber, and Tyler Freeman, who has actually joined the lobby in the Haas. So they are probably gonna be hoping to set a lap, set a new banker lap to not be already disqualified from the qualifying session, and they're probably gonna have a little bit more practice if they go into qualifying 2, because you are gonna have 16 minutes or 15 minutes to drive around. So yeah, let's hope if they're gonna be able to do it, as we are on board with Ollie, who is currently not improving, slower by 2 seconds unfortunately in sector 2. There is still 3 minutes remaining, so he can go into the pit lane, change tires, put a little bit of fuel on the car, and just go again. Also, Polar is going into the pit, so he's probably gonna be doing the same. And Tyler Freeman is actually out, so we can probably go on board with him. Let's see what he's gonna be able to do. He was one of the fastest guys actually in F1 2021, so let's see if his pace actually has come over to this new game with the new regulations. As he is gonna be starting.
Yeah, he is a Bahrain merchant. He's just too good at this track. So let's hope for pole position is what I think he's going for. Very smooth on the wheel, we can see from Tyler always. As he goes into turn 4 now. Using a little bit of the track on the left to try and get a bit more turn in. Using the high gears is what you notice from him. Always staying in the high gears, doesn't really go into the low gears. But there's a yellow flag as well. I think we have a spinner for one of the Aston Martins there. I can't remember. Oh, it was Itamar. Tyler then, 9-10. Kevin onto the lockup, manages that perfectly. He's going to get a little bit of a tow here from the car ahead of him. Of Ollie Horwood. So then 11-12 then. It's going to get a bit dirtier here, maybe. But obviously with the new regulations, dirty air has been reduced. Only 2 corners to go. Well, technically 3, but it's basically 2 corners to go now for Tyler. Using all of that slipstream from Ollie Horwood there, as he pulls over to let him through. Pretty decent lap from Tyler. I don't know what you think, mate, but as he gets it all wrong at the last corner. That's really unfortunate. It's going to cost him a bit of lap time. Yeah,
but
clearly.
he's gonna be
Only a
secure.
29.3.
He is still in P13, so that is gonna be secure at the moment, but that mistake probably cost him around 5/10 or maybe a little bit more. So he's probably gonna be hoping to improve, because he is being demoted a few positions as people are starting their laps as well. We have Verbram finishing his lap in the McLaren. Is he gonna be able to improve? Yes, he is. He goes from P16 to P4. Very good from the McLaren driver. That is not too bad. Let's see, who else do we have? We have the other McLaren starting his lap. It's gonna be Eagle. Little Jack is, I think, on a lap. Also ahead of him, Itmar. Currently down by 2/10, so maybe he lost a little bit of time in the middle sector. So let's see if he's gonna be able to improve. Let's see who else is on the lap. I think it's Ollie Horwood, who is also not improving, which is not actually going to be good for his race. He is already on 2 lap hold softs. They do tend to wear out even faster than they did last year, so if he doesn't manage to finish this lap, he's probably gonna remain in P18, unfortunately. So let's see, is he gonna improve? Only by 1/10, but it doesn't move any positions up, as that is the checkered flag being waved as qualifying 1 is over. But the Haas driver of Tyler actually just managed to start his lap, so he's really lucky. As Hako goes into the pit lane, he's not gonna be able to improve, so he's gonna stay in P17. I think that was Kjaerbo who finishes his lap, improves to P12, Little Jack as well, P13. Next we have Polar Saver finishing his lap, only up by 38 thousandths of a second, so let's see if he's gonna be able to move up any positions. No, unfortunately, he's gonna be lost in today's race. Next we have Valtuka. What is he gonna be able to do? He goes into the pit lane. Verbram, he's way far back. Eagle doesn't improve. Who else? Frantic finishes but also doesn't improve. And I think that Tyler just barely manages to not be demoted from qualifying 1, so that is very lucky from the Haas driver, as Verbram goes into the pit lane. But Tyler is actually... Yeah?
Sorry, mate.
No, continue.
He was 3 turns down in Sector 2, Tyler. So let's see how much time he actually did lose. Assuming he's going to get it right. I imagine he might not finish his lap. He is going to finish the lap. He's actually 2 turns down. So, the pace not being with Tyler then, at this moment. Let's see if he can ramp it up for Q2. Yeah, he is lucky to get through, but I assume he will be improving. He's a bit late today also, so maybe he's still just getting warmed up.
He also didn't have any ERS. He was at 0 the whole of second to last straight and the last straight.
Oh,
so
that's probably why then, yeah.
So that probably lost him a bunch of time. But still, he is going through to Q2, so he is really lucky that he didn't get demoted in those final few moments. So, unfortunately, Frantic, Heko, Oli, and Polar Saver are not gonna be heading out to Q2, so we're not gonna see them for the next half an hour. But everyone else is gonna have another shot to show us how fast they are with the new regulations. As Kos has a provisional pole in the Red Bull, congratulations to the Red Bull driver. Let's see if he can actually carry that pace in Q2 and Q3 maybe, if he manages to get himself into Q3. Wesley is gonna be P2 and Thyman P3. We also see a pretty big gap between P1 to P7, 5/10 difference, but from P7 to P11 we only see 1/10 a difference. So I think we're gonna have a pretty close race today. What do you think, Ole?
Yeah, it's gonna be close. I think with the DRS straights, it's quite easy to stay with someone. Having like, well, we have 3 DRS straights, but there's 4 main straights that you can stick in the slipstream of somebody, and yeah, it's a bit of similar situations to some tracks like Monza and Red Bull Ring, and Britain to some extent, that you can just stick with someone that's much faster than you. So we expect a long train, I believe, and I think there will be crashes on lap 1 because, like I said earlier, it's a new game, new people trying to state their claim in FPRL and prove who they are and go for this championship and start off running. To start off running well is the best thing to do for that.
We're probably gonna see something like in Britain we saw in real life. That was a very big crash happening, and we're probably gonna see that today.
Yeah.
And like you said, it is a new game, and the tires are probably gonna be cold in the beginning. Also, you really have to be even more careful in this year's game to actually do your starts, because if you put your throttle a little bit higher than usual, you're gonna die. You're gonna spin 180 and you're gonna lose way too much time. I think ghosting is zoned, so that is at least one thing that is gonna reduce the amount of crashes that we're gonna see on lap 1. But yeah, this race is mostly gonna be like a practice race to see how everyone actually compares to each other and how it actually handles. So yeah, it is gonna be interesting overall. But it's nice
Yeah,
to
it
see.
should be.
Yeah,
Sorry, I just said it should be interesting. Yeah.
it's also nice to see that the Red Bulls are also carrying their pace from real life, as Kos said the fastest lap time in Q1. So let's see if he can make Red Bull proud. Maybe they can win the championship this year with Alpha and Kos, two of the fastest drivers here, or at least in my opinion. We saw Alpha last year in F1 2021 have some brilliant races. So let's see if he can carry that in this game as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But it's got a lot more competitive. Can I change my opinion? Can I say Wesley's gonna win?
Yes, you can.
I think Wesley. Problem with Wesley. Can we mute this so he doesn't hear? Is that he does seem to crash on lap 1 quite a lot. There's a running joke that he's the first, the last master. Yeah, as we did see last season in Spa, collision with Lucario on lap 1 caused turn 1 caused him to go from first to last, and he finished outside the points that day. Same happened in, I believe, Zandvoort. Was it Zandvoort? I can't remember. One of the other tracks has happened. He just needs to keep calm, and we will see him doing well in the race, as he is starting his lap now. Currently into turn 2. Approaching turn 3, turn 2, turn 3 are flat out basically now. Going into turn 4, Wesley, careful not to lock up. Perfect line, and as I know he's been sweating time trial mode. Little bit of oversteer on the exit there, it's going to cost him a couple hundreds. Nicely hitting up the apexes of turn 5, 6. Turn 7 then, be careful on the throttle on the exit, it is a no camber corner. Turn 8 is flat, turn 9. Oh, really wide, nearly touching that curb. If you get on that curb, then it's just going to tank you out, basically. It'll chuck you out wide. Pretty decent lap from Wesley, apart from that bit of oversteer so far. As we see Itamar in the fastest lap of the race, braking just before the 50-meter board. Try and be as early as possible on the throttle. And then going up into the top of the hill, the topest part of the track. The car then having to get out of the way there. That's one of the Alfa Romeos of Lewis Piper. 2 more corners then for Wesley. T14, T15. Need to brake as early as possible. That will also give you a good exit. So then DRS enabled now then. Coming across the line. It's going to be a 128.5 from Wesley. A good lap considering he had a little bit of a mess up in the first sector.
So you're basically saying that Wesley is like Pastor Maldonado. So he usually crashes, but when he doesn't crash, he's pretty fast.
Yeah, when he's not crashing, he's in the podium positions.
That's nice to know. As everyone has that lap time. Oh, that is PW John spinning. Or no, that's Alice Deer actually, just in front of Lewis Piper as he starts his lap. But he's slowing down, so he's not gonna do anything. So he's the only one that actually hasn't set lap time yet. so we're gonna see him later probably, but currently the provisional pole is again set by Kos, a 128.2, a pretty good lap time in my opinion. He is showing definite pace. In last year I don't think that he had this much pace, or at least I didn't see any of this pace, so maybe these new cars are suiting him a bit better and he can deliver a bit more. As he made a little bit of a mistake at the second to last straight, but he doesn't retire the car, so he's still good. But even if he does retire the car, I think he's still gonna be safe to go into Q3, so that is gonna be good for him.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Do you want a fact?
Sure.
Okay, I'll tell you a good fact. So in the last 2 seasons, the podiums of the last 2 seasons, none of them, apart from Yippe in season 3, have been in the top 3 of the standings at the end of the season. So it might be a bit of a curse to get a podium at Bahrain, as last season the top 3, none of them finished inside the top 10. So yeah, let's see if that curse continues. But right now, little honorable mention to Alistair. Very good so far from him, showing some brilliant pace. Different to what he usually was showing last season. Very much of a mid-runner. Today he seems to be up there, fighting for the top 5.
So you're basically saying I'm gonna have to be careful in Sunday at my race, so I shouldn't finish at the podium and I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah. We'll have to look up the facts for Div 2.
Well, thank you for the advice. I'm gonna take it to my heart and finish P4. And that's and that's gonna be enough.
Last season, Yippe got punted by Toast, because Toast had a little bit. We had a bit of desync where I didn't hit Toast on my end, but I hit Toast on his end, and then he hit Yippe. So it's not my fault. But now last season in Div 2, Major Castleman won, and he won the championship. So if you win, you win the championship, mate.
Is desync also imminent in this game? I haven't seen it yet, but
no,
did they fix it?
I don't know.
I hope they did. As we see Lewis Piper currently finishing his lap, he put a purple sector 2, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. He goes to P5. Still a pretty good position, but probably not the place that he wanted to be for Alfa Romeo. But he is the only Alfa Romeo in Q2 and probably the only Alfa Romeo racing today. I don't know who's the Alfa or the other Alfa. So he's doing a pretty good job overall, in my opinion. As no one is on a lap, everyone is just staying in the pit lane. We have Itmar on the 1 lap all softs, but he's probably gonna lose a bunch of time because the softs wear out a lot, even when you do 2 laps on them, so he's probably gonna lose a lot of time. We're gonna have to wait and see when he finishes sector 1, which is gonna be in just a few seconds, as he is actually improving 37 thousandths only in sector 1, so let's see if he lost all of his time in sector 2, as he locks up a little bit I think in turn 7, so let's see how he manages to do turn 8, 9 and 10, as he also locks up a little bit, but he has a better line into turn 10 but touches the inside curb probably a little bit too much. It is gonna unsettle his car a little bit and not give him as much straight line speed as you would have if you don't touch the curb. He goes wide in turn 11, unfortunately. That's also gonna lose him a bunch of time. As he finishes sector 2, yeah, slower by 4 thousandths. He's not gonna be improving this lap. But, thankfully for him, there is still 5 minutes remaining in the session, so he can go into the pit lane, change for fresh tires, and put less fuel on the car, and just push on his final lap. As Valtsuka has also started his lap, 3/10 already faster on those fresh softs. So let's see what he's gonna be able to do for Alpine. As he takes a way better line than Itmar into turn 10, he's probably gonna have better straight line speed. It's also gonna be very interesting to see the difference between high downforce setups and low downforce setups. You probably want to have like a medium setup, because there's a bunch of straights here. You have like 4 major straights, so you don't want to lose too much time, but you also don't want to be really slow in sector 2, which is mostly made out of high speed corners. So probably a medium setup, like maybe 22 wings is gonna be enough to give you the edge over your rivals. As Valtuka finishes his lap, and it's gonna be 128.5, 3/10 off of provisional pole, and puts himself into P4. Not too bad. I think that is gonna secure his position into Q3, which is very good for the Alpine driver. As we also see a spin, I think that is from Eagle, or he just
Yeah.
let him through, I don't know.
I think he was letting him through, but
Also, what is very interesting, and what's also new in this game, you can actually beach the car in the gravel and on the curbs. So if you do decide to spin in the race, be very careful to not spin in the gravel, because your race is probably gonna be over.
they had a rule about race at the track that you're not allowed to. If you use it, you'll get a warning, a written warning. But I don't know about you, mate, but I'd rather have a written warning than have a DNF, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah, same.
so it's like, I don't know what the rule is about that. I can read the rule bit quickly and see if they put anything about that.
Or in some of the leagues I've raced since, they actually give you a 5-second time penalty if you use reset to track, because 5 seconds is mostly what you're gonna lose. Like mostly it's like 7 or something seconds, but they still give you a 5-second time penalty, and I would much rather get a 5-second time penalty than to retire from the race because I beached the car in the gravel. Because I still might have a chance for points, even though I lost a lot of time. Because safety cars are pretty common in league racing. As PW Jones finishes his lap, goes to P9. I don't know if they increased the amount of safety cars that that can happen during the entire race. In last year we had 4 safety cars that you can have, and like infinite virtual safety cars. I think it stayed the same, but I didn't look up that information. So they might have reduced that number or maybe increased it. So it is gonna be interesting to see what the maximum amount of safety cars is gonna be like. And let's hope that we're not gonna be the first guys to actually get a maximum amount of safety cars, because that is gonna be very boring during the stream if I'm gonna be alone. If I'm gonna have someone else, it's gonna be
yeah, we're gonna get a view, I think. Oh, it's little spin maybe, Jack. Yeah, I think Jack spun at the final corner. It's very easy to spin it there in 4th gear. It just comes out of nowhere and you're not expecting it, but that's going to ruin his starting speed. Let's see his sector times, because that's not going to be pretty at all for that.
We also have a few people out on their laps. Itmar, Alpha Eagle, Kiaerbo, and Lil Jack currently in the danger zone, so let's hope that they can improve. As Eagle goes P10, he is currently safe, but he's not safe by a lot. Only 1/10 is separating him and PW Jones, so he probably has to set another lap if he wants to go ahead into Q3. But
Alpha's on a flying lap. Sorry, Alpha's going very fast right now. Let's see if he's got it together.
let's see what he's gonna be able to do as he crosses the finish line and goes to P5. 3/10 apart from his teammate, so Red Bull is showing very good pace at the moment in Division 1. Itmar as well goes to P5 in the Mercedes, 128.4, only 2/10 slower than provisional pole, which is still set by Kos, so Kos is showing the most pace out of anyone currently, but we're gonna have to wait and see until Q3 if he's gonna be able to remain in P1, as I think we saw some team plays between the Haas's. I think
Yeah.
I think Tyler gave a bit of slipstream to his teammate Kiaerba, which is very nice from the Haas's.
Yeah, yeah, I think we're seeing a bit of track evolution. I think we're getting a track state's becoming more generated, and the track temp is falling a little bit. I don't know what the exact numbers are because we can't see still, unfortunately, in spectator mode, but a drop in track temperature is probably the explanation for these times improving, so which means that people are going to have to get out there if they want to improve. As we see Bram's going to cross the line now, look at that pretty tight lap from him. It's going to be only 1.4 tenths faster. That's going to put him up into P9. Might be safe, might not be. Just going to see if PW and Cabarro can. PW is 2.3 seconds down his time, so that's going to be him out of qualifying. Cabarro is 2 tenths up, so if he can just keep this together now, he needs to find 2 tenths. Or 3 tenths actually in the final sector. Let's see if he can do it.
As everyone has finished their laps, who were on them actually, so Kjaerbo is gonna be the final guy to actually finish his lap, and after that Q2 is gonna be over. So let's see if Kjaerbo can pull himself out of the danger zone, or is he unfortunately gonna have to sit and watch for another 12 minutes. Going out to the final corner right now, he gets a little bit of oversteer at the exit, thankfully manages to save it, but yeah, he just
yeah. that could be reportable.
I mean, he is on the middle of the track, he's not even crossing the finish line. I think he's just wasting a lot of time here, but it is pretty funny.
I just crossed the line, please don't go into the pits. Oh
no. Oh,
you're retired, good.
Thankfully. Thank God. So, unfortunately, he's not gonna go ahead into Q3, along with BW Jones, Eagle, and 2 other people, I don't know. We're gonna see now. So, Tyler Freeman, oh, that's an interesting guy. That's not gonna go ahead. Tyler Freeman, Eagle, BW Jones, Kjaerbo, and Little Jack, unfortunately, are not gonna go into Q3. But we do see a lot of Dutch people in Q3. Yeah. We have Bram, Wesley, Jelle, and Thaiman.
we need to get more representative from not the Netherlands because we got so many. But yeah, they're fast. Wait for Jippe to come back, and then I'll be flipping even more.
Also invite Jarno Opmir. I also know two people that are Dutch who are also incredibly fast on this game. And you're gonna have a full Dutch league with very fast drivers. And that's it. They are incredibly fast. I don't know how they do it. They are all just impersonating Max. Anyway, yeah. We go into Q3.
They're all fanboys, yeah.
I mean, I would be too. I was in 2021 because I wanted Lewis to finally end his 6 title streak, which finally happened. But now I'm a Ferrari fan and they are just screwing everything up because they are stupid.
Yeah, stupid management team Ferrari have. Good drivers, bad management.
Yep. Also happy for Sainz to get his first win finally after 150 races, I think, so that's nice to see.
Yeah.
We have 2 Ferrari drivers today. I think one is already, one was already demoted in Q1, but Jelle, who you said is one of the fastest drivers you've ever seen, is in Q3. So let's see if he's gonna be able to produce some of the results for Ferrari, and let's hope that the Ferrari strategists don't ruin his race as well. But speaking of safety cars, did they remove the glitch? Have you seen the final Division 3 race, I think it was, last season in F1 2021 in Abu Dhabi, where the safety car just stayed out 10 laps?
I heard about it happen in Division 1, but I didn't watch Division 3 because I wasn't here. I forgot all about that actually.
Oh yeah, you're actually correct.
Oh no.
It was Division 1.
Didn't it get cancelled? Didn't Division 3 get cancelled because there wasn't enough drive for Division 1 that it was out for ages?
Yeah. It's the Div 1. You are correct. So, yeah, it just stayed out 10 laps. It was insane. I hope that glitch is fixed. But anyway, so we have started Q3. The first guy to set lap is gonna be Thaiman. He has shown pretty good pace in Q2 and Q1. Let's see if he's gonna be able to go ahead in Q3. And looks like everyone is out. But not Lewis. He's probably waiting for the track to clear out to not get any of the dirty air. Even though the dirty air, like you said before, is very much decreased, you can follow the car in front of you way nicely and way more than you used to. So that is also very good. And that is why we also had the new regulations. All of them were focused on that, to reduce the amount of dirty air that the cars produced. And they actually succeeded. They succeeded, and very, very well actually. But it has separated a bunch of the cars in real life. Like, there's a second separating Ferrari Red Bull to Mercedes. It's actually insane. But it's gonna be okay probably, because we are racing on equal. So it's all about the skill. And we can finally use the skill issue GIF here. As Simon finishes his lap, a 128.4, that is gonna be provisional pole. We saw, I think, a 128.2 by Kos in the Red Bull, which was a really good lap, so let's see if he's gonna be able to do that as well. As Bram finishes his lap, 5/10 slower than Thyman, unfortunately. Yele, P2, 1/10 slower than Thyman, and Kos improving on his personal best. 128.1 for the Red Bull drivers, so he's still showing a bunch of pace even after 30 minutes. Let's see if he can improve when the track is gonna evolve in the final few moments. As Wesley takes provisional pole, or actually steals provisional pole.
Wesley, yeah.
And that is your team as well, so you're gonna be very happy about this.
Yeah, I can't wait to be out-qualified 20 times and out-raced 20 times. Well, I don't know out-raced because he'll DNF on that one every time, but qualifying's not going to be good. Considering last season, I had a better record against my teammate than I think I will have this season. But whereas he's very fast and he's very sweaty at this game, so because he has like 50 hours already. I'm like, how is that even possible?
I have around 30, I think. I don't know.
I have like 15.
I've played it like the first 5 days and then I just quit on it. It doesn't have a lot to offer. It's mostly the same as 2021, so if you want to buy 2021 or 22, please buy 22. Please, because 2021 is so buggy and no one is gonna play that game. And the cost is actually pretty much the same between 2021 and 22, so 22 is gonna be a better offer, trust me. As Lewis Piper starts his lap, so let's see what he's gonna be able to do for Alfa Romeo. But wait 2 months until the game costs like $30, then buy the game, and it's gonna be good. So yeah, we're gonna go on the board with Lewis, and let's see what he's gonna be able to do. He's now going out to turn 4. Goes as wide as possible, goes with 4th gear, and actually goes very wide on the outside curb. You really don't want to do that in this year's game. It was possible to do that in 2021 because you could ride the curbs quite a bit at that outside part, but your car is gonna get beached if you do it on this game. He takes turn 9 and 10 very well. He gets a pretty good exit, but loses the traction a little bit, but it's probably not gonna lose him a bunch of time. 5th gear into turn 11 gets a very good exit. Goes as wide as possible to get the best turn into turn 12. And locks up massively into turn 13. That's not really what we want to see from a quick lap as this. So he's probably gonna go into the pit lane, change tires, and just go for another lap. That lost him a bunch of time. So, 5 minutes remaining to the end of the qualifying session. Who do you think is gonna set the first pole of FPRL? Is it gonna be Wesley? Is he gonna be able to stay? Or is it gonna be Kos? What do you think?
there's a difference between what I want and what I think. I think Wesley can do it. I think
You're gonna say.
looking at Cos's Q2 time, it was a lot like in comparison to obviously the track evolution. He can definitely get into the 27s, as I think the top three can. It's a bit of a go. Let's get 2 horse race at the minute. Let's see what Lewis can do if he can get a lap together too. That's obviously very fast. But a bit of a shock right now is Bram. He's not as fast as I thought he would be. He's one of the top, but the right of the top runners. But right now he's not showing it as much as he could do. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Wesley though. I think Wesley's gonna get it. But as we know, qualifying doesn't mean as much as you might think it does. As obviously it's a long race, a lot of stuff can happen. And going into turn 1, you want to be on the inside.
Speaking of turn
Bit of a
1,
crash.
Halsuka's off.
Oh, what a surprise! Valet's off. Has he done is that an outlap?
Yep, outlap. Probably tires are too cold. It is gonna be common in this season, probably. That's gonna be one thing to watch. But what does everyone else think? We have 12 people watching today's stream. We have 3 minutes remaining in the session. What do you think? Who is gonna set pole position? Is it gonna be Wesley? Is it gonna be Kos? Or is it gonna be someone else? Please write in the chat, or you don't need to write, but if you want to, you can write in chat what you want, and we're gonna react. And we're probably gonna see some troll replies like Itmar is gonna set pole position. I mean, it might happen. It might happen. I mean, we don't know. Maybe Itmar was sandbagging all the time.
Yeah, he's sandbagging. And also, if Persoon's still in the chat, you will be fired if you don't say Wesley.
So yeah, if you want, you can write in chat what or who you think is gonna set pole position, or you can just watch the remaining 2 minutes and see for yourself. Oh,
why don't we do a
person
little
is in
track ride
chat.
with Itamar? Right, turn 1 then. Third gear for Itamar, a little bit of a lockup, misses the apex slightly, going to turn 2. He's a bit reluctant on the throttle there, takes his time, it's going to cost him a little bit of top speed. But 8th gear then, going into turn 4, braking just after the 100 meters, he's locked up again, that is not going to be good for his lap time. I think Paul might be a little bit off now, but 6th gear, stays in 6th. He's purple sector 1 there. Is that a glitch? Because that did not seem like a purple sector in my opinion.
Probably a glitch.
Yeah, so he's still going then. Let's see, I was teaching him how to take turn 9, 10. Let's see if he's learned. It looks pretty decent from him. Getting the DRS down into turn 11. Thing on the right side, cutting across. Nice apex from him. Pretty decent. Needs to come across as possible to take the apex at turn 12. Turn 13, missing the curb as he should do. Didn't quite reach the maximum amount of apex speed he could have got there. As this is where it tests your aerodynamics, and if you're going for a low wing, this is where you're going to gain most of the time. A little bit too much curve from Itamar then, as he's going to come across the lines instead of 1:28.9. So unfortunately, it's not going to be pole for Itamar. As Valet is also 7 seconds off. I think he's going to be going again. And then next, Lewis Piper's on an outlap, and then we got Alpha, who is 200ths up on his time of a 1:28.8. 3/10ths up now, as he takes a very wide line. If he goes wide enough, he won't get an invalidation, which he knows, which he hasn't done.
Kos is also improving. Kos sets pole position, 1:27.7.
Damn, yeah, that's fast.
People are saying, let's see, Lewis for person. So person says Lewis. Naigorz. I'm sorry if I cannot pronounce that name. I'm very sorry. The cars are pasted to the ground because of the new regulations. The ground effect cars are very different. Wesley and Kos are people saying. Kos is doing a really good job. So he's currently on pole position. Wesley's not gonna improve. He goes into the pit lane actually. You're gonna be
My
mad.
dreams are shattered.
You're gonna be mad about that. You're gonna
How
have
many have we got
quite
left?
a few words. Alpha, Itmar, and Lewis, I think. As Itmar actually goes into the pit lane, Lewis is on turn 13. So let's see what he's gonna be able to do. Valtsuka is improving by
Improving.
1/10. Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. And Alpha, I think. I think Alpha is the last guy to be.
I'll just finish the lap, Vale. What's he doing? Lewis then, is he going to put it on pole?
No.
P5 for Lewis, but very close to the top. Some pretty mega times going on right now, but right now it is going to look like it's going to be Kos that's going to put it on pole. And yes, Kos is going to be on pole for the first race of the season. Start as he means to go on. Really good qualify for him, shortly followed by Van Eyck. Wesley taking P3, unfortunately, didn't got the last lap as best as he could do. And then Timon, and then Lewis taking up P5. Pretty good qualifying from Lewis considering the little amount of practice he's had, as he's only just got home, I believe. But does this change your opinion on who you think's gonna win?
Who did I even say that would win?
I think you refused to answer.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say Kos. It's gonna be an obvious choice, but I'm gonna say Kos. I'm the guy that likes to be basic, so I'm gonna say Kos. But we'll have to wait and see. But a lot of people do have the chance, like Yele, Wesley are really close. Tyman also separated only by 3/10. Lewis Piper is really close. I mean, we have a lot of people that can challenge for the win, so it is gonna be very interesting to see who's gonna be able to maximize their strategy, their fuel usage, their tire usage, their outlaps, because we're gonna see a lot of people dying on their outlaps when they're gonna go to pit. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun race nonetheless. But Kos, yes.
Itamar only missing out on pole. I just want to say, so close.
Yes, he's really close. Only a second. He can do it as well. But Kos is gonna be on pole position. Right behind is gonna be LA. They secure the first row of the grid. Wesley and Tyman third row. Lewis and Alpha third row. And Ali's there, and I think that was PW Jones. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, that means
in the fourth row.
The thing. We got Ali, then Valsika, then Brown, then Itamar.
Ah, yes. And those are the 10 positions. So, I think I asked you about the strategies already in the beginning of the stream, but do you think that they are gonna change?
We'll see what tires people set on. Obviously, the new rule, meaning Q2 tire rule, is completely gone. You can start on whatever tire you want. What tire do you think you're going to see? I think the medium tire is what we're going to see initially, because the hard obviously just doesn't have enough grip off the starts, and then obviously the soft, just wear too quickly, and I think people are just going to go for the mediums, get long into the race, or they could just bank on an early safety car, go straight onto the mediums from the softs, get that tire change done as soon as possible. But we're going to go to the formation lap now. And
I think the bottom like 5 are probably gonna go hards because they have nothing to lose, or no one actually goes for soft or for hards. Okay, scratch that, scratch whatever I said. We have 2 people actually on softs, Yele and Hako. That's actually interesting. They might do a soft to medium or soft to hard. So let's see if that's gonna pay off, but everyone else is on mediums. So a lot of people not hoping for safety cars in the first couple of laps, which is probably gonna happen. But yeah, while we do have the formation lap on, I would just like to thank our sponsors again, Skullcandy and GoPro, because this stream could not have been possible without them. You can check them out down below the stream, I think. I still haven't checked that with 3 months of commentating. I don't know if they're below the stream or if they're nowhere, but they're probably there. So you can check them out if you want to, because this stream could not have been possible without them, so thank you very much. And yeah, we are gonna have to experience 29 laps of the Bahrain Grand Prix. We are probably gonna see a lot of battles happening all around the grid, a pretty tight podium battle probably as well with Koscielny and Wesley. And yeah, it is gonna be an interesting race overall, I think. As we are waiting for Kos to put his car to the grid, with the new addition of the immersive formation lap, I think that's what it's called, the immersive formation lap. You can now put the car yourself on the grid, so the AI doesn't take over and you can actually do it by yourself, as Kos actually gets disqualified by not putting his car correctly on the grid. And the computer puts his car way back of the grid slot. He's gonna be at a major disadvantage here in the beginning. Yelle is probably gonna have a really good attack because he isn't soft, so let's see what he's gonna be able to do.
Right. Here we go then.
Yes, here we go, as we have 5 red lights, and we are underway for the first Bahrain Grand Prix of the season, as Yele does get a good advantage as he actually crashes, and oh, a whole lot of people crash in the beginning. But Wesley, I think, is gonna go around the outside of Kos. He's gonna have a pretty good line. Is he gonna be able to do it? Now he has the inside line into turn 2, and they still go side by side, both of the Red Bull and AlphaTauri drivers. Now Kos actually has the inside. Is he gonna be able to retain the lead? Or is Wesley gonna be able to go around the outside? No, he isn't. So, Kos is still gonna be leading today's race, but now Lewis going side by side as he actually loses the car and nearly crashes to the back of Alpha, I think that was. But people actually going
Oh, a
pretty
little bit of
safely.
spin there from Tyler. Very nearly went round.
How did people not lose too much time when, like, I saw 4 people crashing into the pit wall and they're
Oh.
still all together?
I think his wing damage doesn't get affected this much on this game.
Probably.
Like, you don't really feel it too much. Like, you can have no wing and you're still in the battle. Like, if you look at, I think we see no wing somewhere where they're just in the middle of it.
That is, like, impressive. We saw that in Britain in real life as well, so you are probably correct. As Oli Horwood has managed to get 3 positions off of his starting position. He started P18, now P15, so currently looking pretty good for your team, not too bad. But Kos is pulling away from Wesley. He sets the fastest lap of the session, but that is to be expected because he is leading. But we do have a battle behind with Alpha and Lewis Piper. Lewis Piper trying to go around the outside of the Red Bull driver as he makes a little bit of a contact on Alpha's diffuser. But thankfully, Lewis doesn't get any damage from that collision, or at least I don't think he gets damage. So he's gonna remain in P4, but let's see if he has better pace than the Red Bull, as Verbram is actually also showing up to this little train of Lewis and Alpha. So let's see if he's also gonna be able to move any positions. As, yeah. Currently, it's looking pretty good. Only Kjaerbo and Alisdir are in the pits. Alisdir for softs and Kjaerbo for hards. I'm also pretty confused how we didn't get a safety car for those incidents in the beginning. that was interesting.
Yeah, that was weird. Just want to quickly mention that we got a Red Bull 1-2-3 at the minute. Red Bull Team Factor team. Yeah, me and Carlos are working together this season, as Red Bull and AlphaTauri do it in real life. So it's good to see a 1-2-3. We just need the Ollie to get up into P4 now, and then it'll be the complete Red Bull team there. But as it currently sits, Alpha getting under pressure now. He's causing a little bit of a train now. Kos seems to be running away with it quite fast as he sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:31.3, and Wesley is in whole pursuit still. Simon's in the pits. I think he's got damage from an incident on lap 2.
As Frantic goes down the inside of Tyler into turn 1, this is the battle for P11, but Tyler gets a much better exit than the Alfa Romeo driver. But now Frantic has DRS, as DRS has been enabled this lap, and is he gonna be able to make the move to Tyler? He has the inside line as Tyler makes a very big lockup, but they still go side by side into turn 5, and Tyler manages to stay in P11 round the outside. That is very impressive defending from the Haas. Very nice. As we see Polar Saver crashing into the wall, or actually he didn't crash, but he manages to save it. He doesn't have any damage, thankfully, so he's gonna be able to just clear this. But Oli Horwood already 5 positions from P18, a second and 2/10 to the next car ahead, so he's probably gonna have to hope to clear that gap and maybe battle for points, as he is 3 positions away from points. If we are new to Formula 1, positions or points are awarded from P1 to P10, 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, no, 4, 2, 1. I think that's how it goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you wanna be in the top 10 to secure points. And if you do, your team principals are gonna be happy. Very happy.
Yeah. As I am with Wesley right now, doing a splendid job. Already up into P2 due to Yellow's crash earlier on. We currently have a battle between Yellow and Yellow. P9 and 10. P8, yeah, P9 and 10. A little train there starting with Itamar, who's doing quite nicely in P7 currently. Only scored points once before in Division 1 in Hungary last season. But that race was pretty hectic too, only 11 finishes.
We also see a pretty big train forming up here as Lewis Piper actually locks up into turn 10, which gives Verbram a very good opportunity to maybe attack for the move. He has 20% more battery than the Alfa Romeo driver, so let's see if he's gonna be able to do... No, he actually stays behind. But Lewis Piper has lost a lot of time to Alpha now, as he loses the car again going into turn 12. So he's already gonna be outside the DRS zone. So this is gonna be... Oh, as both Alpha and Lewis Piper go outside the track. Verbram is now gonna have DRS as Lewis Piper is outside 1 second. So DRS is awarded to you when you are within 1 second of the car ahead. And you're gonna get DRS, which opens the rear wing and gives you around 20 more kilometers an hour, or 15 miles per hour, I think. I don't know miles, you probably know that better than I do. But Verbram makes that... Wait, you don't use miles?
No.
Oh, that's interesting. You're the first breed that doesn't use miles, or at least that I know of.
Yeah, it's more precise with kilometers.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then, so... kilometers. Nice. Might I ask also, are we gonna see during the season some driver transfers from maybe lower divisions to upper divisions?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the contract with that have been played out with the team principal. They can only remove drivers whether it's a mutual agreement or one of the termination clauses is broken. That's the way you can get rid of drivers. All of these would have been determined at the start of the season, and certain drivers will have half season contracts, full season contracts. So yeah, some will move. I think yeah, you'll find that if some are performing, it'll be in the contract. If they're not performing, they can go down to Div 2, and we'll have the Div 2 driver come up to Div 1. I have no plan for it, to be honest, but if people stop turning up to races, then obviously I will have to take action. But a nice little DRS train forming then from P3 all the way down to P11. I do have another yellow flag for another one of the Williamses in P17 at Fprl'S, but he seems to be back on track now anyway.
As Bram has managed to overtake the Red Bull of Alpha, looks like the McLaren driver is showing a lot of pace at the moment. Alpha really struggling already on these 5-lap old mediums. He's losing a bunch of lap time according to his rivals right behind. Good Fenrir. What happened to Thaiman? Thaiman crashed in the beginning, I think. At the start line.
Wasn't he one of the ones that went into the pit wall?
I don't know.
I think he might have been.
I
I
don't
think
know.
he crashed to the pit wall off the start, like a few others.
Oh, Lewis Piper goes way off of turn 10. He's now under attack of Valsuka, but Valsuka's not gonna make any moves. But right behind we have Eagle and Itmar going side by side. My game is lagging a lot. FPS is at 30. I don't know why the game is not really that optimized. Like 2022, I'm gonna need to sort it out after the stream. But still side by side during the whole of turn 12 and turn 13. Very impressive racing here from Itmar and Eagle. But Eagle manages to overtake for P8. He will also get the DRS from PW Jones. PW Jones is a second behind, so he doesn't get any. So Eagle is gonna be able to defend from Itmar, so that is gonna be good for his position, or his race actually. As we are already on lap 7. What lap do you think that people are gonna start to go into the pit lane? Or it's actually a better question to ask, when are the mediums gonna fall off?
Mate, I couldn't tell you. I have not played this game enough to know yet. But I just saw Itamar get bullied by Tyler and Yella, just getting pushed past. That was quite interesting to see. But yeah, about the tyres, I really don't know when we're going to see any pit stops. Jelle Van Eyck is still out there with a 1M plate missing on his on the right side of his front wing, showing that wing damage doesn't make a whole lot of difference on this game, and you can really stick it out to the pit stop.
He's probably reenacting the British Grand Prix in real life in Bahrain here, but Bahrain is mostly straights, so you're still not gonna lose too much lap time if you do have front wing damage, like you said. So I don't think his race is gonna be ruined.
We should have a safety car by them anyway. As we see, Polar Saver has gone up again. Back on track now, but we see a little battle now between Cabero and Ali's going to start to form soon, I imagine. But Cabero going for the hard tyre. Bit of a weird choice, if you ask me. As I think within the medium range, there'll be another safety car coming out as soon as we see a bigger incident. But right now, I thought there would have been a safety car. As we see once again, Yella and Tyler going side by side, but Tyler gets the better of him. But Tyler goes to the inside. Tyler's just glitching around on my screen. I have no idea what's going on. As Yella goes off the track. Don't know what happened there. Got a bit of snap of oversteer. And this massive battle as PW and Eagle go side by side. Yella getting past the Aston Martin driver there. As a contact between Itamar and Yella, causing Itamar to go round, so he doesn't come on and hit anybody, which he doesn't do. But yeah, this battle's all up and down the grid, mate. Really good to see.
Yes, it is. A lot of people are close. We have Tyler, PW, Jones, and Eagle forming a little bit of a train. And then up ahead of them we have Bram, Alpha, Lewis Piper, and Valsuka all in the DRS of each other. So anything can still happen, but I think the reduced amount of dirty air really benefits for racing, but also forms very huge trains where nothing really happens. So that's one downside to the new regulations. But we're gonna go on board with Alpha. Now he has DRS on Bram. Both of them don't really have ERS. Bram has 40, Alpha has 20. So Alpha didn't really have any opportunities to just close in the gap, as he locked up into turn 1, but he wasn't the only one. Lewis Piper also locked up into turn 1. But the DRS is not that powerful here for the Red Bull driver. Looks like he's running a little bit of a higher downforce setup, so he's not really that fast in the straights. So he needs to gain everything in the corners, which he's gaining actually a lot in the corners, or he's pretty much the same with Bram. But right behind them we have a pretty big battle between Frantic and Ollie Horwood going side by side into turn 6. as Frantic manages to overtake him. Oli Horwood having a pretty good race so far, going from P18 to P11. Not too bad from the Alpha Tauri driver, but he is under attack from Little Jack right behind. I think he's probably gonna... Little Jack is probably gonna make this move stick, but we're gonna have to wait and see what is gonna happen. Kos is still leading the race, already going to lap the Williams of Polar Saver, who unfortunately is not having the best of races, continuing the Williams trend from real life, which is really a shame, but what can you do? As we're gonna continue from this battle, let's see if Alpha is finally gonna be able to make a move on Verbram for the podium position. He goes down the inside. They are leaving each other as much room as they possibly can. Alpha actually goes to second gear, and that causes him to spin into the wall. Thankfully, he manages to save the car and not hit the wall.
He's just driven back onto the track without even... Yeah. Oli going on the inside of Frantic once again into turn 1. Makes the move stick. Very nicely, as Polar Saver's actually going to pull over to the side of the track to let everyone through.
Oh, Tyler has spun as well. Oh, reset the track. That's going to be a warning afterwards.
It's 10-second penalty now, I've just seen it change.
Oh, it's changed. Oh, that's a lot. So, do commentators like have to how do you say that? Report that? Or does the driver only report?
I think we just wait until someone else reports it. Like, if someone's seen it, they might report it.
Oh, we have another spinner. It's Oli Horwood. He goes from P10 to P14. You're gonna be mad, probably.
Nah. I don't mind. He got a P2 last season. He lucked into it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, FIA is watching, so the Dave said it's noted. So that's good to see. Thank you, Stuart. Fenrir.
Oh, okay.
Lewis Piper trying to go on a move on Bram. The game is lagging a little bit, probably only for me, as Bram I think wanted to go down the inside to defend, but I don't know what happened there. Lewis Piper has now DRS again, because to get 2 DRS zones here, he goes down the inside of the McLaren driver. Is he gonna be able to make it stick? He leaves just enough room for Bram to get to, and he makes the move stick. Very good from the Alfa Romeo driver. He goes to P3, the final podium position, as we have a battle behind as well, with Frantic, Itmar and Little Jack all battling, as Little Jack actually does a little bit of a switchback to the Mercedes driver, but doesn't have enough straight line speed to make a move around the inside of turn 6, which, trust me, you don't want to do, because people are not gonna leave you enough space and you're probably gonna die. I managed to make that move twice in one of my races, but I literally needed another pair of pants after that race, because I thought I would die. So be very careful if you want to go for a move at that part, because it is a very dangerous corner to make a move.
Okay, so that incident with Tyler has been now officially under investigation. As I've just seen from the car, thank you. So yeah, that'll be looked at after the race.
As this battle with Bram and Lewis Piper is happening again, Bram going down the inside, Lewis actually playing some mind games, because there is a DRS detection point right before the corner, and he braked a little bit earlier, just let Bram through to get the DRS on this straight. But his straight line speed is not that good, so he's still gonna stay behind. So maybe that didn't pay off a lot. We're gonna have to wait and see later. But Kos and Wesley just pulling away from this field. They are imitating the Ferrari and Red Bulls in real life, because their pace is just unbelievably good. As we have another spinner of Frantic, he is on new hards, and he's probably experiencing that hards coming out of the pit lane are incredibly horrible, because they are way too cold, and you can see that he cannot even get any traction to them. As Polar Saver is gonna be our first retiree from the race. which is to be expected.
He's retired on track, I think.
Yes, he...
That's not good.
Yeah, that's really not good. Is that like a warning or a penalty point or something like that?
I think that's worse. That's really not good. We shouldn't be seeing that at all. If you're going to retire in the pits, please, because it doesn't disrupt the racing on track.
And he just left. Is he one of the new drivers racing?
He was a Division 3 driver a few weeks ago, but I don't know why he's racing.
I don't know. But yeah, you don't want to do that. If you want to retire, go into the pit lane and that's gonna be fine. Speaking of pit lane, we see Tyler Freeman going into the pit lane, probably for hards to the end, and yes he is. Is also the new pit lane thing active? The immersive pit lane, something like that. Is that
yes,
also active?
it is.
Okay, so how the immersive pit lane works, you have to press a button right before your car steers to your pit crew, and that is gonna determine if your pit stop is gonna be slow or fast. So yeah, be very, very careful with that. As yeah, this battle for the podium position is still happening, so yeah. I really want to see Frantic. Can you talk 1 or 2 laps with him on screen? I'll donate 10. Oh, okay. We have a person who's gonna donate $10 if you're gonna speak about Frantic. So Frantic is driving for Alfa Romeo today. He put hards on. We also saw him last season racing for, I think, Division 2 and Division 1, if I remember that correctly. Can you
I think he raced in Division 3 too. He was
in
Division 3 champion, no? I think.
Oh, that's very nice to add to his name. So he raced for all 3 divisions. That's
basically,
that's good. So he has a lot of experience here in this league. But unfortunately, this race has not gone his way. He went into the pit lane. I think he was like P13 previously. So he's just waiting for everyone else ahead of him to go into the pit lane, as we see Ollie and Little Jack actually go into the pit lane as well. So maybe he's gonna move any positions when Hako actually goes into the pit lane. So currently running in P17, not in the points, but maybe we're gonna see a late safety car. What do you think? Is safety car maybe gonna be happening in the end?
yeah. They're just waiting. All the hard runners at the back are just waiting for the safety car. I think they're just like making sure they don't get laps, logging it out. When the safety car comes out, they're back in the race basically.
And they can also pit for maybe mediums. All of the hard runners have completed their mandatory pit strategy, so you have to use one, or you have to use 2 different compounds in the race, and that is gonna complete your race strategy, or you're gonna be disqualified from the race. So all of the hard runners, if there is gonna be a safety car, maybe they can go for hards, and they can go to the end of the race.
I don't want to alarm you, but look at the gap between Wesley and Kos.
Oh, did Kos make a mistake somewhere?
I don't know, but Wesley is all over the back of him into turn 4. He got a bit of oversteer. It's going to open the up a little bit, but this DRS is just going to tug him along. Kos made a little mistake, costing him a few turns. Get back in with DRS to Wesley, which means that Wesley can just close that gap up with that DRS advantage.
Oh, it's okay. SSG, I think that's how you say that, or Pippi. Actually, I'm just gonna say Pippi. It's okay. I'm gonna be honest. I like talking about some of these drivers, even though I don't know any of them. I just know them from commentaries. But then again, after I do one commentary, I usually forget everything about that race. So yeah, it's all good. But he gained 9 seconds to Ollie Horwood. There was 9 seconds a gap from himself to P16, and now he's only 3 seconds, so that's good. He's done a pretty okay job at the moment, but not the best. As Wesley does have the RS, he is gonna close into our leader, Kos. But Kos is just running away with this race. As Verbram actually gets a penalty, and we do have a crash behind. I think Itmar and Kairbo collided with each other.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be the safety car, I think, unless if we just not got the safety car on or something, because there's been plenty of incidents.
Can you check that really quickly, if you don't mind? Is it
Yeah.
on, or is it on reduced or something like that?
Yeah, it might be. It might be on reduced because obviously new season.
Maybe.
Standard. Wow. Okay.
That's
Standard
interesting.
safety car.
So
Yeah, it is interesting.
So we didn't get a safety car in the beginning, and for Fprl'S Saver, and for 20 million spins that happened already in the race. Very interesting. I approve. I approve of the new stewards. Now that Michael Massey is gone, the new stewards are really going conservative with the safety cars. But this battle for the lead is still happening. Wesley has managed to stay in the DRS of Kos, so he's still doing a really good job. Both of these still haven't pitted, and they are really extending these mediums. Do you think that maybe they can go for softs?
Yeah, for sure, mate. Just need a few more laps out of it. I think lap 20 or so, and it becomes a soft game. It's a little sprint to the end. But we do see Yellow and Eagle, I should say, as we have two yellows coming into the pit lane. They're going to go to the hard tyre for Yellow. It was valid, both going for the hard tyre. Very surprising.
I mean, not really, because softs don't really last 12 laps. I would say that they last around 8 to 9 laps. And because we have 12 laps remaining to the end of the race, if they wanted to go softs, they would really have to be conservative in every single corner and at every single exit of the corner to actually make it until the end of the race. And if they actually made it, they would probably even get a puncture. It is really risky, so hards probably are the best choice at this moment, but when the safety car comes out, if it does come out, then softs are definitely gonna be the best. Or mediums, I don't know. It all depends how people's tires actually wear out. As we can see, the top 5 are really going all out on these mediums. They still are showing a lot of pace.
Wesley, 5/10 then. As we see Kos moving to the right hand side to break the toe as much as possible. It's not going to happen though. Wesley is staying strongly within it. We'll see Kos go to the left again, which he does. Wesley bring that gap down, raking really late. As you can see the graining on his tyres starting to go already. Showing that this is going to be like 50-60% wear. It's only a matter of time before I think Wesley's going to go for the move on Kos. Or is one going to get the... Is one going to try and go for the undercut on the other, which I don't know what you think, mate, but I think the undercut could be a possibility for Wesley here.
Maybe. We're gonna have to wait and see. What happened with Fprl'S Saver? He, I think, crashed in lap 1 at the start and then just went downhill from there. He's one of the Division 3 reserves, I think, or racers, and he just afterwards DNF'd. As Wesley and Kos go side by side into turn 11, we are seeing a very big battle here for the lead, as Kos is still in P1, but Wesley is right behind his gearbox and his diffuser. As you can actually see very clearly the gearbox, there's a pretty big gap on the Red Bull, which I haven't seen before. But it is 3/10 difference between the two Red Bull drivers, so to say. One Red Bull and one's sister team, Alpha Tauri. As Wesley is still way too far behind to try and make a move, but he will get another DRS for the next straight. Is he gonna be able to make a move there? He has 10% more ERS than Kos, but he actually loses a little bit of traction at the end of turn 2, which is not gonna be good for his attack on Kos. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Oli, the tires are not really that different than last year's. I would have thought that the tires were way more than last year, but the mediums can go on to lap 20 like they did in the last game, which I didn't know was possible.
Yeah, they are looking very grained, and you can see they're struggling with a bit of understeer through T10 there. But here we go again then, Wesley with the DRS, he's a little bit further back than he was last lap, so I would expect him just to stay behind course here. Going into turn 11, this isn't really costing them any time to be honest, the gap to Lewis staying at about 8.5 concurrently.
While that battle is happening, we also have a three-way battle here with Itmar, Kjaerbo and Ollie Horwood. Itmar going very defensive on the inside, but going to the outside instantly after he sees Kjaerbo going on the inside, and Kjaerbo loses it at the exit of turn 1. But is Ollie maybe gonna be able to make a move, as Itmar doesn't have any ERS to use, which is very interesting. We also have another spinner of Itmar, or Thaiman, the other Williams driver, as both of the leaders still not exchanging any positions, so that battle is gonna continue for a little while longer. But Itmar manages to stay in P13 at the moment. We're not seeing too many battles happening everywhere. I think after the pit stops the grid has been separated quite a bit. But still this battle with Itmar and Oli is happening, and now Thaiman has actually emerged because of the spin. So let's see if he's gonna be able to get back from his mistake. Polar Saver crashed lap 1, DNF'd afterwards on track. The basic. As Thaiman going side by side with Oli using a little bit of VRS I think, because he has a way better straight line speed. But now Thaiman is gonna have DRS for the start-finish straight. Oli was a second behind of Itmar, so he's not gonna get any. So this is, I think, gonna be a very easy overtake for Thaiman. But Oli is really keeping close to Thaiman. So Oli is really running a low down for setup, so that's very good to see. But he loses a lot of time in the first two corners, so he's not gonna do anything about that. As we see both of our leaders go into the pit lane.
Yeah, Wesley got a bit of oversteer into turn 15 that time as well. I noticed, might lose him a little bit of time. Let's see who got it better on the immersive pit stop. Pit stops do have a lot more driver inflicted on the pace of them, and you'll see Lewis going into the pit. It looks as if Wesley's actually got a little bit of a better pit stop.
Oh, is Alpha gonna be P1? Alpha is P1, or at least provisional P1, after he goes into the pit lane.
Right, let's see the team orders then. What is gonna happen? This could get spicy.
Alpha, give Kos DRS for the start-finish straight and go into the pit. That is gonna be it.
Let Kos buy, but don't let Wesley buy.
Yeah.
Is that what I think is gonna happen?
Yeah. You have to be Sergio Perez in today's race. Defend as well as you can. Is Alpha Dutch? Or what is
Alpha is Italian.
Oh, then be...
No, perfect. Strategy won't be so good.
But Alpha's actually improving than Kos. Kos is actually losing a bunch of time. Or he actually lost like 5/10 to his teammate. So Kos and Wesley having a bit of a struggle to hit up the softs coming out of the pit lane. So that's gonna be one fact to look out for. As Alpha's gonna be the final guy to probably go into the pit lane. And Alpha's not even gonna give DRS to Kos. I think Red Bull's gonna be pretty mad about that. And Alpha still not going into the pit lane. Like, how many worn is it? Like, those tires should be like 21 I mean 80% worn. Like that's insane. Miporo, thank you for 500 bits. Jesus, thank you so much. I really hope that you are enjoying today's stream and commentary. Oh, big contact!
A big crash between Alpha and Kos. That is perfect for the Red Bull guys. Now, of course, Alpha just needs to hold up Wesley as much as possible here. And we're going to see some pretty big team orders here. Alpha needs to stick it out if he wants to help his teammate. I expect a big dive, but and he's ruined it. He's ruined it for his teammate. Yeah, that could have been utilized a bit better. He's going to get a few tenths for his teammate, but overall I think that is just, it could have been done better between the two Red Bull guys. But Wesley is still in hot pursuit of his man Kos.
As this battle is happening, we also have a battle behind with Frantic and Kia Erbo going side by side into turn 1. Let's see what is gonna be happening here. Kia Erbo 20 lap old hards, so he's already been the whole race on them, and currently running in P15. Not a points main position, but still running side by side, nearly crashing into Frantic as he didn't leave a lot of room for the Alfa Romeo driver, but still he's gonna remain in P15 as Alpha finally goes into the pit lane. He is gonna switch from those 21 lap old mediums going for softs. He is gonna lose a position to Lewis Piper, Bram, and probably PW Jones. And maybe from Eagle, he's gonna lose way too many positions. He was running in P5, now he's gonna be running in P7. So maybe because he stayed out way too long, he lost too many positions. And he's gonna even lose a position to Tyler, I think. Is Tyler even gonna overtake Alpha? They go side by side into turn 2 and 3. Alpha not leaving any space for the Haas driver as he has to hug the outside curb of turn 3. Still going side by side as Tyler has DRS. Is he gonna be able to make this move stick? Yes, he does! And he doesn't leave any room for Alpha. Alpha's really messed up this whole strategy. So you were correct. You were correct.
Yeah. The Italians do it again. As he gets a little tap from Vale, pushing him right off track. That's not good from Vale there, as they're gonna be hustling and bustling into turn 9. Alpha then really pushing Vale off the track there. That's a little bit of retaliation, a little bit calmer there for Vale for pushing him off, Alpha off at turn 8. As he has to use position to yellow too, but Wesley and Kos then, 4 tenths.
Still battling for P1. This is bringing me Bahrain 2022 vibes in real life. Like, this is actually insane. But it's not Ferrari and Red Bull, it's AlphaTauri and Red Bull. As we have, I think, yellow flag behind, it's Kia Erbo maybe? As he went into the pit lane for fresh new softs. As Wesley is still way too far behind to make a move for the lead. And this battle is just going on and on and on, and then at the end it's gonna be so anticlimactic with one of them spinning on the final corner.
They've been within 1.5 seconds this whole race, mate. It's been amazing to watch.
Is it only me, or is that Alfa Romeo or AlphaTauri really dirty on the side pods?
We'll get a little look here now.
Is that maybe affecting a little bit of performance? Maybe the dust is not doing good for the air. Oh yeah, it's really... Yeah, it is.
But Wesley losing a little bit of time through there. I think that's just the dirty air of turn 12 as he goes off the track. One thing, mate, we have not seen many penalties at all. Only one penalty for Bram.
You are actually correct. Is the rules on a regular maybe?
Oh, let me check.
Because that's not...
Yeah, the corner cut is on regular.
There we go. There we go. That's your answer to your question. But that's very interesting. There's very few leagues that actually use regular.
I think it's an accident, mate. I think it's an accident. I don't think they meant to do it.
We're gonna have to see afterwards. And both of the Williams drivers are out as Steinman retires in the pit lane, unfortunately. So yeah, the Williams drivers continuing their curse from real life into the game. Very, very unfortunate for Steinman and Polar Saver. As this battle is still continuing with Wesley and Kos. And that is the only battle that is along the grid. Everyone is separated by quite a lot. So yeah, we're just gonna stay on board with Wesley and Kos, see how this battle is gonna develop. And this actually gives us a bit of a good opportunity to actually say thank you to our sponsors, Skull Candy and GoPro. I've said that twice before already, but they are the ones that made this stream possible. Their links are gonna be down below the stream, so you can check them out, but thank you very much for the sponsorship. And again, thank you for Miporo for 500 bits, we really appreciate it, thank you so much. And I really do hope that everyone has enjoyed the stream at the moment and the commentary from me and Ollie. As Wesley was looking for a move, but still nothing yet is happening from these two.
Yes, I've got a word that it's on regular because the game's been giving out multiple warnings for one-off track. Is what I've been told, so that's your reasoning why it's on regular.
So is every race gonna be on red regular and every
the game's
division?
fixed, I imagine.
The game's not gonna be fixed. You know, Cody's and EA, they don't care for us.
Yep, they're already trying to sell their next game.
Yep, which is gonna be, I don't know what. It's probably gonna be the DLC tracks for F122. Is that been confirmed?
I
Are
don't know.
DLC tracks
I don't
coming?
really look at it, whatever Cody say, but Wesley is not gaining as much as I thought he would be. I mean, he has a lot of ERS, mate. Look at the ERS levels: 33 ERS for Kos and 75 for Wesley.
He's really saving it.
I don't know why he is. He needs to just set it up and blow it all on one straight and get the overtake done. Is he gonna do it on the last lap? Is that maybe the strategy?
You're the team principal, you have access to the AlphaTauri voice channel,
Just give a live
so go there, go into the AlphaTauri voice channel, scream at him to use ERS, and you're gonna win. That's it.
I think he knows what he's doing. I think he knows when he's going to use it. I think he's just sitting behind him, saving all the ERS, mate. I think that's what's going on right now. We don't see, like, Wesley could have gone for it there, but yeah, this is just Wesley waiting. But when is it too late? Is my question. When's Kos going to think, oh, there's hardcore defending, and Wesley's not going to get his chance?
It's probably gonna be too late when it's gonna be the last lap and it's gonna be already on this straight where we are right now, because Wesley is probably gonna want to make the move either on the first straight and then defend on the second straight, or get the DRS for the second straight and then overtake him into turn 4. Because
I think I'd like to think he did it into turn 11 on lap 29, but it's just hard because of the 30th of turn 10, but if that's better on this game, as we also see Yella has crashed at Eagle. But sorry mate, as you were saying?
I mean, I was finished, but but it should be okay. But we are probably gonna see, like you said, a last lap move from the AlphaTauri driver of Wesley. And yeah, we are already on the penultimate lap already. Like, this is insane. This race went way too quickly.
Yeah, especially the cars are slower than the last game. It's weird.
I don't know
Right,
how.
let's see if Ollie gets out of the way now. No funny business from him, because obviously with Alpha was on the same lap, whereas Ollie's on the wrong lap, so he needs to get out of that way.
He is gonna be lapped, which you don't really want to see, but it's maybe gonna be good for him because he's gonna finish this race a bit earlier than usual.
Yeah, get the pain done.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, mate, but this battle is really good to see. Let's see if Wesley's got the nerve. Then he is using. He knows that he only has 50% he can use on the last lap, so he needs to get it down to that number.
But he should still wait for the start-finish straight, because that's gonna be the place where he's gonna want to make the move. If he manages to overtake him, like in the middle of the straight, and manages to brake correctly and not lock up, he's gonna have a really good run into turn 4, and he can just pull away. But with ERS, he can also just pull away from Kos. But let's see here. We are going out to the final lap of the Grand Prix. Are we gonna see a move? There's 5/10 difference. I think the gap is a bit too big, as Kos and Wesley both using ERS.
Kos is out of ERS as we speak.
Oh,
Looking up into turn 1, he's feeling the pressure.
Wesley gets a really good line off of the final off of turn 1 and 2, but he's not using any of the ERS.
Using.
Why?
What?
Why is he not using
I have
anything?
no idea why. Because like you can only use 50% in a lap anyway.
And if he wants to overtake into the next DRS straight, that's really not the place where you want to overtake. Well, what is
All
he
he
doing?
needs to get out of the way here because he's giving his teammates rival a little bit of slipstream. Is he gonna go for it here?
Wesley locks up a little bit into
No
turn
way.
10. He's using every yes.
And he's stopped. Okay, here we go again then. Is
But
he gonna go for it? Oh, mate.
He's not gaining any time.
Kos is completely vulnerable. No ERS.
I think Wesley made a very big mistake by not overtaking him on the second DRS straight. He had such a good run on that straight, and he's gonna lose his first win in F1 2022 because we're going on board with Kos as there is big contact between Wesley and Kos. Kos is actually gonna win, but
Wesley's gonna get it on track, but
I think that's gonna be a penalty for Wesley.
I think that might be a switch around.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Probably. But Wesley wins on track and wins the first Bahrain Grand Prix, but like we said already, I think that's gonna get a penalty afterwards, after the race, but we're gonna have to wait and see. And Lewis Piper gets the final podium position for Alfa Romeo. Very good from the Alfa driver. I think he started like P8 and he finished on the podium. Very good from him. But what a race, man. What a race.
Was the dying moments. Wesley got what's the word? He got desperate at the end. He really wanted to get that position, but he should have done it earlier. Like he had the ERS, overtaken with ERS, use a little bit of ERS, and then he can just use his ERS to stay ahead of Kos. I think that would have been the best moment, the best decision for him. But yeah, I think we'll have to see the evidence on their screens because obviously we are in replay mode. It could have been different on Wesley's screen, but we'll see what goes on in the post-race decisions on what happens. Most likely, if it's what we saw, it'll be a 5-second penalty for Wesley, and it'll just drop him back to P2 and a few penalty points. But both drivers, yeah, just no stopping them. They were just ruthless today.
As Oli Hordord is the final guy to cross the finish line in P14, unfortunately, but congratulations Wesley for the win, but we're gonna have to wait and see afterwards, after the race. We have already seen in the chat that the incident has been noted, so it is gonna be investigated after the race, but still a very impressive race from both Kos and Wesley. They have provided one of the best races in FPRL, or at least that I have commentated in, and it has been very, very good to see. And unfortunate, it was one of the only battles happening during the entire race, but still, they have provided a lot of enjoyment for me, for myself and Oli. As we see, Wesley very happy on the podium. You can see him, and yeah, congratulations for all three of these drivers. Lewis as well for the final stop, for the final step on the podium. And you can just see how happy he is, just spraying that champagne everywhere on his team, and Kos being very respectful to also be pretty happy. But we're gonna see some words probably from him afterwards. But those are the top 3 positions, as Lewis Piper actually gets the fastest lap of the race. The fastest lap actually gives you 1 more point added to your race time. Next is PW Jones in P4, where Bram is gonna be P5, Alpha P6, Yelevan Elk P7, Tyler Freeman P8, Valtsuka P9, and Eagle P10. All of the drivers get points. Hako P11, Itmar P12, Little Jack P13, Ollie Horwood P14, Frantic P15, Kia Erbo P16, Alaizir P17, Timeband P18, and Polar Saver, unfortunately, one of two retirees in today's race for Williams. Both of the Williams have retired from today's race, both of them P18 and P19. So, what were your thoughts on the first race of the new era of F1 2021 and FPRL? Are you excited for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I'm excited to get some driving done. Should be fun. Got a bit of competition now for my teammate. But yeah, good to see Wesley doing well today. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It was a good race. No safety car, surprisingly. But yeah, I think as it goes on, we're going to see some more battles from Carson, Wesley